I see you. Hmm. All right. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sarah Fisk will be joining us shortly. My apologies. I owe you big.
Made it.
Hi, Jessica.
I made it.
Yay. I just sent Sarah Fisk the link. So here she is. Yay. All right. Hallelujah. Sarah's audio's off.
I'm here. Sorry.
Hey, Sarah.
Um I'm driving, so I'm gonna keep my camera off.
That's good.
I was home, but I had to actually do baseball pickup at 6. So
Okay. My apologies.
no, it's okay. I totally get it. It's
So, welcome to Council on Aging. It's great to have you here. So, we have all of us are familiar with the work that you do because of the interview that was done for our Gazette. Um, would you like to talk about some programs that you would like to do in conjunction with possibly Council on Aging? How we could work
absolutely.
together?
Absolutely. So first, I just want to say thanks for having me. We've tried to connect, I think in May, and it didn't work out, or maybe even April, but I'm happy to be here. I hope you guys can hear me. Um, I just want to say that anyone who is part of the Council on Aging, or really any Shutesbury resident, is always welcome at any education session that we put on. So, for example, in the winter, we did a Narcan training, and I do plan on doing a summer safety series that I will absolutely reach out to you, Martha, to kind of make sure that the Council on Aging members are aware of that session. But if you have specific sessions that you're interested in, and me just kind of presenting to you guys as a small group, that's fine too.
Okay.
You know, we can do anything. We can do and really anything you want. I have access to, you know, all the literature and research and CDC recommendations and whatever. So if you have something specific other than the topics that I'm finding interesting right now, like seasonal health and wellness, I'm doing a TikTok coming up on June
20.
20th. And then in the fall, I'm planning a health and wellness fair and clinic. And I can speak about that in a little bit, but I just wanted to open up, you know, the table to see what you guys were specifically interested in. You know, we could do like a lunch and learn, you know, whatever. I can provide education however you, in whatever areas you're interested in, basically.
Okay, thank you. Yesterday we had our first potluck, and we had 15 people, and so one of the questions was, I guess, in 4 years ago and beyond, it was held on Wednesdays, but that's when you have office hours. So the luncheon was 12 to 1:30. So I don't want to impinge on your office hours, because once a week we have the foot clinic is on Wednesdays, and you've expanded to Wednesdays, 9 to 1 on Wednesdays, third Wednesday of the month.
So I will say that my summer hours are temporary. So I'm
Okay.
happy to, I think keeping it on Wednesdays is a good way for me to meet and greet people in real time. So
Okay.
I wouldn't adjust um, your schedule. You know, honestly, I get a lot of face-to-face interaction because the Leverett Foot Clinic is on Tuesdays, and I'm in the office there on Tuesdays, and it's just a great way for me to put a face to community members, and the same for them. So I'm happy to be there when you guys, as long as I'm not in the way. Um, and if I have a specific meeting, like today I had a meeting from 1 to 2. I live right down the road, and attend my Zoom meeting after I've greeted everybody and whatnot. So I don't feel like you can't continue to have your meetings on Wednesdays. I think that is a good way to interact in real time with people.
Okay. Susan has a question for you. You're muted.
I'll speak for Susan. The potlucks were on Tuesdays
Oh,
before
okay.
COVID. They were not on Wednesdays.
Thank you.
That's what she's trying to tell you.
Okay.
This
Thank you.
is
Someone
Janice,
told me
by
they
the
were
way.
Wednesdays. Thank you. Okay. All right. So if we had potlucks
So
on a Tuesday, would you maybe you may be
yes,
around? Okay.
you just have to let me know, and I can pop up there because I normally have office hours from 9 to 2. But like I said, it's all flexible, and it's really all for the community members. So if you need me to show up somewhere, as long as it's not a Friday, and I mean, I can do stuff on Friday, but Fridays are hard with the kids and stuff. But I'm absolutely available on a Tuesday. If I'm at Leverett, I can pop up to Shutesbury for an hour and meet and greet and do whatever you need me to do.
Okay.
However, in the fall, I will say that will probably be harder to do. So if you want to kind of have me join your July or August, that's probably your best bet, because I go back to working 8 to 10 hours a week in the fall, because I pick up my full-time job again.
This is
Okay.
Janice speaking again. I think the simplest way to do this might be to, instead of having it on the same Wednesday as a Council on Aging meeting, we do it not the first Tuesday. I'm not the first, I don't know. I mean, maybe a different Wednesday other than the Council on Aging meeting. We change our schedule, but not have the two things on the same day, because I could not do that personally. So that's my 2 cents.
I agree. Back to back, they're difficult, Janice. I agree. Um, one thought that was expressed by uh, someone was issue of incontinence and Kegel exercises, those kinds of things, making that kind of information available. So I don't know if
Sure, I can absolutely look into that and we can do a education session on that. I think we all could use that,
right,
including myself.
right,
So I'm happy to do that. I actually know someone who goes to a pelvic floor massage physical therapy, and we can talk about the benefits of that and why you would want to go to that, and we can talk about just we can, yeah, that's fine. We can do a lunch and learn and just talk about incontinence and Kegel exercises and all that stuff. I'm happy to do that.
okay, thanks
Maybe not the best topic for a lunch.
for lunch.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm a nurse. I don't care. If you guys don't care, I don't care.
Yeah, but our
Honestly.
audience care.
Well, okay. They may. All right. I don't know.
That's a nurse lunch, Sarah.
Okay.
You haven't lived till you've lunched with nurses in the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it all.
Uh, other questions for Sarah? Are you getting to know the community or people coming in?
Um, I will say that I get to know the community over the phone and email as opposed to face to face. I don't have a good strong there's not a lot of people frequenting the town hall in general. So I think if you had 15 people at your luncheon, I think that's a great way to introduce
Mm-hmm.
to them and them to me. I think natural opportunities like that are good because they're already coming to the town hall, and if I'm there and can pop up, then it's not an extra step. I will say that for most things, I do a lot of phone calls and then dropping things off at people's homes. So I don't always meet. I did meet a couple of people at the very beginning of the year last year who did the dinners at the Shutesbury Athletic Club.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, there were a bunch of members that would pop in and say hi to me, but that's about it in terms of people coming into the office.
Okay. All right. Susan.
Do you think we might consider doing something like a little meet and greet for Sarah at the AC at a time when other stuff is going on at the AC?
That's a great
Sure.
idea. Yep.
Oh, let's see. Jessica went in and out.
There looks like she's back.
Janice has a raised hand. Janice, do you mean to?
You're muted.
That's an older raised hand that I forgot to unraise. Let me get rid of it. There, sorry.
Yeah, maybe we can piggyback on something with an event at the AC.
Yep, I'm happy to do that. That would be fine.
All right. Great.
Like the tag sale.
Right, like the tag sale. Right. There's a big tag sale on Sunday, Sarah, at the AC.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I'll go. I love tag sales. The other thing too, aren't you guys having a barbecue or something?
Having a what?
Isn't there some kind of town dinner?
You're breaking up.
A barbecue? Isn't there something going on like a town dinner? Maybe not. Maybe that's
There was a town dinner
sorry, can you hear me now?
last Friday night there was a town dinner, a lasagna dinner at the AC at benefit for the library.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I see.
something like a library benefit meal would be great if you could come out in the evening. Just say, I think that barbecue is down at Lake Wyola, maybe.
Okay.
And
Yeah, just let me
and to get to know the lake
the date.
people, you ought to go to something down there. Think about it.
Yeah, I should. Definitely.
Janice here, just to chime in that the library tag sale, which is this Sunday rather, which Susan just mentioned, is from 9 to 4. So it's not an evening event.
Okay.
But I'm sure there will be other library events throughout the summer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Great. Any other questions? Do you have any Jess? Okay.
I just had, I didn't know if like other sessions, I lost my sound. I don't know what happened. If there was any other suggestions for things to discuss besides like incontinence, like what Sarah would, like if there's any targeted sessions for the elderly.
Yeah, so I can give you a few that I've done in the past. We've done like a high blood pressure healthy eating session. We've done high blood sugar. We've done stroke. What are the signs of a stroke, and
That's good.
when you need to call 911, or when we're actually planning a pulsed education.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good because that's a big problem. So, and obviously, like I said in the beginning, every education session that I do is open to all Shutesbury residents. But if you want
Right.
it, if you want it specific to the Council on Aging, then we would set up another time, or I would just send the specifics to Martha, and you guys could sign up publicly like everybody else does. But yes, the next one we're going to do is I think it's a summer safety and health and wellness. And then after that, we were planning a MALST pulsed. So that's where like an advanced directive,
Yep.
you have the DNI, DNR, and you have to go through your provider and just provide basic information on why that's important and how you like make sure that it's obvious, for EMS and things like that.
Right. I was just wondering what you had suggestions for. I like the stroke
Yeah, the
symptoms.
stroke one is good, and we give out magnets, so it kind of reminds people about like the timing and like it's not just your face. It's if you're off balance, there's a whole algorithm that we go through. So, I'm trying to think what else we've done.
Sarah needs to know about what we've got on our website, which I'm blanking on the name of. Martha, that you worked on?
The
Binder,
yeah,
peace of mind binder. So,
Peace of Mind binder.
right.
Piece of mind finder. Okay.
You
I'll
could
send
just
you
take
a
a look
copy.
at it, know that we have it there.
Yeah. The other thing I'm doing too, and I don't know if you've seen, is I'm trying to collect Shutesbury residents' recipes. They don't necessarily have to be healthy, because I do believe that it's important that a healthy life is balanced. But if you have a healthy recipe, I can include it. But I'm not going to turn away a really good baked good.
There's lots of those.
Yeah.
Some great bakers here. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
those are hidden gems.
Right. Right.
So yeah. I know. Did you guys did the technology focus at
Yes,
your
we did. Yes. And there's, that's another thing. That's another thing I was thinking about is I could teaching people how to use the portal. I mean, a lot of the portal comes out of Brigham, MGH, CDH. And
yeah,
to
absolutely.
be able to just check lab results.
Sure. The only
So-
problem with that is I don't have access to it like a training, um, you know, a training screen. So there's a HIPAA breach there. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Like everyone would have to do it individually. I wouldn't be able to show, and they would have to be
Right.
comfortable with me being
Right.
there, you know, because I don't have a training, web page or whatever that would walk them through like a
Okay.
John Doe, something like
Right.
that.
Right.
That is a good idea. Yeah, technology, there's a big digital divide.
Right. Right. There is. So maybe, yeah, I don't know, individual time spent.
Yeah, we can try to set up like a small session, and I mean, I don't know how to use the portal, but I'm assuming they have similar platforms as other portals. So,
Hmm.
you know, maybe we can work it out.
Yep. Yeah. I can show you. It's pretty, yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like my brother uses other portals. So yeah,
Yeah,
help
they're
me
probably
with
all
that.
somewhat similar.
There are plenty of portals around town.
I know they're everywhere.
There's one at Franklin, there's one at Valley Medical, and I'm sure most
And
everybody has.
unfortunately, not all of them talk to one another, which is a big problem.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And we
Some of
can't change that. But...
right. Some of them are somewhat similar in terms of, sending messages.
Right. Yes, they all
Even
they all should
emails.
have the same anatomy essentially, but
Mhm.
in terms of like, the dexterity of where things are might be a little different.
Right. All right.
So that sounds like it would be helpful to have a workshop, which I think Martha
Yeah.
had been talking about, or somebody could look over your shoulder if you needed help and say, okay, try this next.
Right. And the other thing I will say is I work closely with Brian Cook, who's the Leverett Fire Department chief, and he is very technologically savvy. So as a second person, if we had more than like 5 people, we could hopefully pull him or someone else in the community that's, maybe the Shutesbury fire department has someone that's like super tech savvy and that can just help troubleshoot, more than 5 people or whatever. If we have a lot.
Okay.
I feel like I'm tech savvy, but sometimes, like today, I almost threw my computer out the window because I was like, what's happening? Why is it scheduled for yesterday? I thought it was me.
That's my club.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I've done stuff like that too. It's just technology is so frustrating sometimes.
Right. All right. We'll work on that.
Yeah, that's a good idea, though. We can definitely, think about that and ways to, maybe I can reach out to Cooley Dick or whatever and find out if they have a trainer portal or something.
Okay. Good. Yeah, maybe they do. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So send me an email about the interest in, I think there was stroke, Kegel, just so I can have it saved and we can start working towards those lunch and learns or however we want to do that.
All right. Great.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks
Okay.
for coming.
Yeah, of course. Bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. All right. Susan, now you're on.
What am I on for?
Oh,
We
well,
haven't checked in as far as I know.
oh,
we
we haven't. Yes,
They haven't
exactly.
officially started the meeting.
Oh,
Send me
all
the
right.
sense of when we started the meeting, because as
It
secretary
was
supposed to know.
um 5:46, 5:48.
Oh, thank you.
My bad.
Not bad, you know it. That's great.
I was watching how much time I was blowing.
Okay, so we need to do attendance.
Let's see. In alphabetical order, Martha would be first.
Favre, aye. Present.
Gray, present.
Makepeace present.
Yeah, you're next. Millinger present. Thank you. Roll call. Okay. So minutes next.
I didn't write back, Gray here. I did not write back to you about the April draft or May draft because I didn't see anything.
Oh, thank you.
I was very busy actually at Cooley Dickinson today, so I didn't
dear.
do it. I'm trying to, I printed them out, but I can't find them now.
Well, I printed them out and I can't find mine either.
The finances look correct. Thank you, thank you.
So what's the story on the minutes? So we ready to accept them?
I make a motion to accept them. I didn't see any errors. A motion to accept the minutes as presented for meeting on May 8th, 2024.
Gray seconds.
Okay, so we're moved and seconded.
Ah, there it is. I found them. So we have to, so it's been moved and seconded. Do we need to vote?
Yeah, we need to vote.
Favre, aye.
Gray, aye.
Makepeace aye.
Millinger, aye.
All right. Next on the agenda, financial update as of today. I sent you an updated one, Susan and Jessica.
Yep, and I think I ran it off, but I can't see where it got to. I got kind of carried away. Oh no. I am just so lucky that I was able to create a meeting.
I was so happy. Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't know it would work, but it did. Okay, I'm looking at what you sent me.
So the ending balance as of May was for anticipated expenses was $1,625, and the remainder available of unbudgeted money was $1,559.43. So expenses for that was as of May. As of today, there were the foot clinic, the expense for the month of May was $290, and the sidewalk sign that's advertising COA was $199.95. So the foot clinic comes out of anticipated expenses. So we had $1,625 to start with, minus $290 gives us a balance of anticipated expenses of $1,335. And the remainder available to be spent the beginning balance was $1,559.43 minus the sidewalk sign, which is $199.95. So that gives us a balance, an unbudgeted balance of $1,359.48.
Okay, so that's, I mean, the budget year is going to end June 30th.
Exactly. So in regards to that, I contacted Mary Ann today. So can we talk about this because it's financial?
Sure.
Okay. I didn't know whether we had to put it to later in the.
I don't think we need to. Do you rest it? Anybody going to object if
No.
Martha?
So, I was thinking, so she sent, okay. Let me just find it. Okay. So she says in the past, COAs funded museum passes. So Magic Wings, that pass provides adult admission, and Friends of the Library purchased children's passes to complement the family packs provided by COA. And so the Magic Wings, it's limited to Shutesbury residents only, and adult passes, there's 16 uses. So 2 adult passes provide free admission for 32 adults. And so and the library allows folks to use 2 adult punches and 2 kid passes. And the price of that is Magic Wings is $420. The other thing that we've purchased in the past COA is passes for Mass Mocha, and that admits 2 adults and 2 kids, and it's good for a year from when it's purchased. And that pass is $275. So it would be
that for?
what's that?
What did you say? What did you say that was for?
Mass Mocha. It's a very large visual like performance center
Oh, okay.
in North Adams.
Oh, okay.
It's worth going. It's interesting. The boys might like it. So the total of the museum passes would be $695.
So theoretically, we could provide, I mean, the Mass Mocha Pass is just one for one admission, right?
No, it's for Mass Mocha's 2 adults and 2 kids.
So that's either at one time or 2 separate times. But what I'm saying is Mass Mocha is an expensive pass. It's an expensive museum.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are interested in going.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out if we're 275, are we just basically allowing 2 families to go?
Well, it would admit for Mass Mocha, you could go a family of 4, could go on one time, and it's okay. I hear what you're saying. How many times can it be used? I think
Yeah.
that's what you're asking.
Yeah. You got it. I wasn't asking it very clearly.
That's all right. It doesn't look like it's limited. I mean, it's not stating here that the butterfly is limited to 32 adults for a year, but this is 2 adults, 2 kids. It's good for a year from when it's purchased.
Well, that's not so bad.
No.
So one would do it.
Yeah.
I was maybe we should get 2 because we got the money, but maybe we don't need to buy 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 1 Mass Mocha pass, 2 adults and 2 kids will get in. She also there's a 2 family pack pass for Magic Wings. 2 family pass back for me. That's $420. Okay. That would be $420. So and that one's popular too. So So the total for Mass Mocha and the wings is $695. So at this point we have unbudgeted, so yet to be spent, yet to be budgeted, 1359.48.
Well, it doesn't disappear at the end of the budget year.
It rolls over.
Rolls over.
Okay.
So if we don't have something else we want to use it for.
Right. The one other thing in terms of finance, and we can talk about this. I mean, I was contacted by broadband because there's this, I spoke about it before, there's this effort to try and connect people in town. And I sent out an email to broadband committee. I said, we don't have email lists. And their response was, well, one way you can get it is send out postcards to everybody in town and send out letters with a postcard that they can send the postcard back to us with their email address. So, that would cost us some money. I haven't priced that out yet, but
man, that would be worth trying.
I think I really think, we really need to get connected. Do people have thoughts on those let's talk about the Mass Mocha and the butterfly passes?
I think I mean, I know they get used because people come into the library and take out the passes.
They do it
with families. So I guess I, for one, think it's a good use of our money.
Any thoughts, Janice?
I think it's a good use of the money too. And then you mentioned the postcards with broadband, and I'm like, I was thinking about that and like, because that really should be postcards for everyone in town. And I don't know how we're going to do that, but I'm for the museum passes. I was looking on the library website to see what it had to say about them.
Couldn't we just send out postcards, the letters with postcards to the people who are seniors?
Well, like we did with the Gazette.
Yeah.
We have a list now.
Hmm.
Would you want to get specially printed up postcards? Or could we just sort of make out stickers that we could stick on?
That's a great idea. We can have a party doing them, right?
It could be a council on aging luncheon
Right.
activity.
Right. Right.
The question is whether we have the postage to send them.
Right.
With what's left of this fiscal year. I don't know.
Well, we'd need stamp on the envelope going out, and the postcards would need to have stamps or be prepaid. I don't know. Can you still buy prepaid postcards?
I don't know. I'll look into it.
It's a waste of money if we send them out and people don't return them. But we don't know that, how much returnage we would get. So, Madam Treasurer, what do you think about that as a way to spend, or as a use of money?
I do like the passes, because I know that they do get used. For the email addresses, I can see how getting everybody connected would probably be a good idea, but I don't know like how that looks. I'm trying to figure it out.
Mm.
You know, like you said, how many are going to return it? Is that going to be a waste of postage? That's what I'm thinking. And a lot of the older residents, some don't may not even have emails. I mean, I know a few people in town that don't even have internet.
Mm.
That's the other thing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't hurt, thinking about this, it wouldn't hurt for us to have I mean, do we have an actual list of the people that we have to send emails, that we have to send snail mails to?
Yes. That we just got a clean list from Adams when we had the last Gazette
Yeah.
published and mailed.
So if we could know who we had to send the snail mails to, that's really helpful information.
Hmm. Right. Well, you know what? I wonder if the town knows that there's about 96 people that are not connected to internet. I wonder if that's too private. If we could get a list of those and take, I mean, so there's 90 right there that we wouldn't send a postcard to because they don't have internet.
Something tells me we couldn't get the list,
Probably not.
but it's worth trying.
Hmm. I'll ask Steve Schmidt across the street. He's on that committee. Well,
I bet you Jessica could give us some of the names of people that are on that list of not having broadband internet.
Yeah, probably.
probably, yeah.
I bet I could ask around too.
Hmm.
That would be great.
Because I know um like Phyllis Cody, Barbara Goodhind, those are all ones I know they don't have internet. So yeah, I could definitely poke around.
Oh, that'd be
All right. I mean, just getting, we can get the names and emails of people that come to, we can start that next time to come for potlucks. So, you know,
Ah,
yeah, there's a start, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea to have, stay informed, please sign up kind of thing. And then we can use that to count the people that are there too.
Right.
So we know every time, well, not every time, but know like the new ones that are coming in.
Right.
I think we did that in the past. This sounds familiar at the luncheons.
have a sign up sheet.
Yeah,
Sign in.
I seem to remember a sign-up sheet.
Hmm.
I don't know who, was probably Linda who did it, but I kind of remember, but I don't know if they were asked to put email addresses, but they might add it if we had a place for it.
Hmm. And just explain that's what we're just trying to provide up-to-date, quick information for various things.
We could also ask at Foot Clinic.
Yes.
Ask.
Yes. Yep. Yep. All right. Great.
People feel comfortable saying no, which I think they probably would.
Okay. I'll talk to Susan. Okay. All right. Great. So do we want to take a vote in terms of the museum passes? Okay, so I make a motion to approve the purchase of Mass Mocha and Wings and Magic Wings museum passes for $695 for the library.
Second.
All right, take a vote. Barbara, aye.
Gray, aye.
Makepeace, aye.
Dillinger, aye.
Yay. Terrific. All right. Okay. Can I ask one other question that's somewhat financially related? And this is the foot care clinic. I sent you that email that there's a woman from New Salem who used to live in Shutesbury who wants to come to the Shutesbury Foot Clinic. I had a lengthy conversation with the director of Council on Aging at New Salem this morning, and they have a foot clinic that will start in July, and they have seeded with foot care because they charge $90 a visit. And New Salem is having a nail technician come in, and they're charging the people $5 a visit. And so I guess the question that I wanted you know us to think about is what do we how do we handle this in terms of someone from out of town utilizing the services?
We did have one before, Janice. Do you remember? We had a woman
From Amherst.
Yeah, from Amherst.
And I think eventually she was asked to go somewhere else.
Yeah. But she did for a while use our service. And gee, Janice, did we pay for her at all, or did she pay?
I don't remember. David Dan let her in.
Yeah.
Or I joined the COA. So I don't remember what the arrangement was. If we go back through the minutes, and if they can be searchable online, we might be able to find something in there.
Martha, the lady that wants to come, did she give a reason? Like you said, she was starting in July. Does she need to be seen in June? Is that what the deal is? Is it like a one-time thing, or is she
Yeah.
not comfortable with the nail technician doing it and wants to stay with the foot care people?
Those are all great questions, Jess. I haven't gotten back to her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, what the issue was. I didn't know whether I went down the route of, what does New Salem offer
Right,
to
right.
find that out, because maybe she wasn't aware of it. So just have that information.
I just didn't know if she couldn't wait, like she needs to
Right,
be seen, and
exactly.
she couldn't wait until July,
Right,
or
right,
if it's that she's not, because your email said that, or the woman's email said that they had her tried out and that they're mostly everybody was, approving of her. Maybe someone, I don't know anything about the woman, but maybe she's had a bad experience with a nail tech. Maybe she has diabetes or
right,
something that she's prone to infections. It isn't comfortable with just the nail tech. I mean,
right.
I don't know. There's a lot of variables, I guess, in why she would want to come.
Exactly. Exactly.
And she can go to Greenfield, but maybe that's too far for her. So I don't know.
Right, right, right. And Medicare, if you have various medical conditions, will cover a
Mhm.
podiatrist.
Right.
Yep. So
That's again, I know to get into a podiatrist right now is months wait. I had somebody that a friend of mine that needed to see a podiatrist, and she's like a 3 months out wait for
Mhm.
Wow.
just Planter's warts.
Wow.
So yeah,
Right.
So speaking of somebody care by nurses, it's really nice having a nurse check in every other month. And
Mhm.
I had a foot problem this year, and it's been really helpful to get Nan's take on and suggestions about dealing with my foot problem. And I guess, and I've used in the past, I've used them for other medical questions that I had
Mhm.
with my feet. And as I said, I liked having a nurse available every coming to my home, and then too every other month. So I can see somebody not being too thrilled about a nail technician if they've had something they wanted to consult with a nurse about.
I
Right.
feel the same way.
Right. And I don't, you know, the nail technician doesn't have the AMP, anatomy and physiology and background to, identify issues. So,
I think Jessica's right, though. It would really be helpful to have other information about why she doesn't
Hmm.
want, why she'd like to come to us.
And if it's reoccurring, if it's just 1 month while she waits for the New Salem to start theirs up again,
yeah,
or if it's just a one-time thing,
right,
whatever.
right. I'll contact her with more information. You know, I guess I wanted some guidance before, in terms of, uh, what we can, you know, what sort of, are there parameters in terms of, you know, uh, will we allow people from out of town to be coming in and, um, how do we do the pay? Do they pay full? Um, or not? I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking about us developing a policy, and that's really a good idea.
Right.
Hmm. I agree.
And I have to say that our policy at the Cemetery Commission for allowing people to get buried in Shutesbury Cemetery if they don't already have them, we realize that we have only a finite resource there. So we're asking for people who either are residents or have significant connections with our town. And it sounds like this woman, I mean, if we were to think about something like that, this woman has significant contacts with Shutesbury. She used to.
I knew her.
Did you?
Yes, yep. She, but I didn't feel it was appropriate to say anything on email, and I'm not sure it is now, but yeah, she and I rode horses together, and I babysat her dog, Mort, and fed her horse when she and Julian went out of town, and I knew her for a long time. So yeah, she has significant connections in town, but I haven't been in touch with her for decades.
Um,
We,
I
we
guess, the other thing is now that we're publicizing the foot clinic and it's, with, are we going to get more people? You know,
Mhm.
Janice here suggesting that we check with Joellen to see if maybe all she heard was we're not going to be using foot care by nurses, and she didn't know yet that there was going to be an alternative. If she may not realize it.
right. All right. I will call her and see what, and just inform her of this is what, uh, this is what exists in New Salem. Uh,
did she contact us, Martha?
what's that?
Did she contact us?
She did on the phone. So that Susan Gomberg forwarded that message on to me. Yep. So, okay. So she wants to be seen continuously. So she wants, hypothetically, she wants to be seen for one visit. If we have openings next Wednesday, if it's one visit, we could let her come in. What's the payment schedule? Do we just, treat her as a Shutesbury person and she can, donate whatever? Um, uh, and then, yeah, I'm trying to get some parameters here that I can work with when I talk to her.
Okay, so let's
If
work
we,
on policy. Does our policy include permit us to let people who are not currently residents of Shutesbury participate in the foot clinic? And I guess we should talk about what we think about that. I mean, I guess I would suggest, okay, if the person really has a significant contact with Shutesbury, like living here for a long time, I would probably say sure. But that's me being on the lenient side. And I also would probably say, let's treat her as any other Shutesbury resident, and so she donates whatever she wants to donate. But that's just me. So that's just a suggestion, and I would be interested in knowing what other people think.
But what happens if she comes up and doesn't donate anything? Or not her specifically, or we let somebody else do it, and then we're sucking in the whole cost. And then if it happens once, if it keep recurring the same way, that's, I guess, something else you'd have to think of.
So would you would suggest she would be full pay?
See, I don't know about full pay because she does have the deep roots to Shutesbury, but maybe a certain percentage of it.
Yeah, yeah. Traditionally, Linda said that we could not ask people to pay.
Oh, okay. So then I guess that would be out then. If you can't do that.
Well, yeah, but I don't know what the basis that was. I mean, is it? I mean, the problem of us not taking money, is that the basic? We aren't allowed to take money.
Right. Because it's donation, you wouldn't be able to require like a deposit or a partial payment
Yeah,
because they're technically donations.
yeah. We could suggest if she asked that we'd appreciate it if she'd pay, at least half, but I don't know if even we could even do that. I don't know.
how do you find that out? I mean, I guess I could talk to Becky.
Yeah.
What are the rules?
Are we still able to turn to our former co-chair, Linda, for memory?
Sure. I would think so.
Because that thing came up after I joined this person in Amherst. And I don't know what the resolution was about that.
I don't remember because I remember it being discussed, but I don't remember. But didn't you say we eventually asked her to leave? Told her to go down to Amherst? I don't know why.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
She just liked coming up to Shutesbury. She knew people here, I seem to remember, and it was more meeting her old friends while she was waiting. I don't know. I don't know who this person was.
Yeah.
But I remember it being talked about how David Dan had sort of said, "Oh yeah, sure, you can come," and then later people were saying he shouldn't have said that. But it wasn't part of that history.
Hmm.
Wonder if Susan G was a member then and would have memory of that situation.
Oh, Susan Gomberg. Let me talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. rather than bothering Linda, because I think Susan would know the details of that.
I'm not sure Linda would consider herself bothered. She's still very interested in what's going on at COA.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just not, I'm trying to prevent opening a can of worms. What's the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That's why policy. You're right. Because then you have to worry about injuring anybody's feelings. You can just say, geez, I'm sorry, but this is our policy.
right, right.
That's a really good idea to develop a policy for that.
What I'm saying is we may already have one, and none of us here actually knows it for sure.
Right.
Well, we should have written policies. I guess they would, as you said earlier, Janice, there might be some kind of record in the minutes.
And also, as I tried to point out at the luncheon, that black filing cabinet has all sorts of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
That is our filing cabinet. And the very top folder, which I saw you, Jessica, go over and lift the box. I couldn't open the drawer, but I could peer through the little opening. In the very top folder was foot care.
Right. There
So
was
it might be in there.
and yeah, only the top drawer was full. There was nothing in the bottom drawer.
Okay.
All right. That's a good point. I'll look there. All right. So in summary for foot care, I will follow up with the woman and try and assess what her needs are, immediate needs, and contact Susan Gomberg and look through that file and see if we have a policy. And I can shoot Linda email. We don't have to make so. Hopefully I'll have an answer for something for next Wednesday.
What's next Wednesday?
Foot clinic.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if foot care by nurses has any kind of policy about that.
Oh, well, it's not on our MOU, memorandum of understanding. It's
okay.
Yeah. That's sort of our policy. So yeah, that's why I'm just trying to, there's this time crunch.
Yeah.
So
well, we could, if we wanted to, let her in for an exceptional, and as Jessica said, we don't know how often she wants to do that.
Right. I think if push comes to shove and she needs to be seen, and I haven't found a policy, I may just explain to her that we can.
You on mute.
I'm on mute.
You just were. I lost what the last things you said.
I think what I'll do is, I'll find out what her needs are, her immediate needs are, and explain the options in New Salem too, which start in July, and if need be, she can be seen at our clinic with the understanding that we're in the process of developing, of finalizing a policy. So
sounds good.
Okay. All right. Okay, COA. All right, the luncheon. Next on the agenda, the luncheon, future plans. What time is it? 6:54. This is supposed to end at 7. Jessica, you want to talk about your thoughts in looking at the room yesterday?
Yes. I was kind of upset with the way the room looked, with everything just as using a storage room. I mean, you couldn't even get to the file cabinet. And when I walked in there, I was like, oh wow, I couldn't believe that it still looked like that. I don't know what it looked like before with car seats and stuff like that, but I remember that room being a really nice area for people to gather in. And I thought it felt like we were in a storage closet. And I had actually talked to my sister quickly about it. And she said that we could draft a letter to the select board requesting that it um, gets brought back into a happier, nicer setting for the luncheons and for the seniors, you know, for any other senior um, events that take place there. To get rid of the voting signs, to get rid of the empty water bottles sitting there. I mean, even just organizing some stuff to make it look a little bit better. You know, when I walked over to where the file cabinets were, there was cobwebs and dead bugs everywhere. So I didn't know if we could kind of just ask the town to clean that up a little bit better. Because, like I said, that used to be a really nice room. And I felt like we were crammed in this little area. And it could have been just a nicer feel to it.
Yep,
I don't know how anybody else thought, but that was my thought.
I think you're right. Absolutely right on.
I agree.
It also it could be set up if possible. I mean, there 3 tables were set up, and we really didn't need 3 tables, and those tables are so big that you couldn't. Maybe partly because there was so much stuff in the room. You know, you
Hmm.
comfortably around all 3 tables and move around.
Right.
I don't know whether we might need two big tables and maybe a smaller one if we or what. But I just thought it didn't seem part of how the room looked. It just wasn't a comfortable setting when we were so squashed at the tables.
Right. And I think getting rid of the stuff around all the corners and edges, and I mean those tables are pretty big, but if we can add some space and maybe push the tables out, depending on how many more people come. If you get,
Yeah.
you know, 10 more people, you're going to need that extra table.
Yep.
Yes, yesterday you did need the table, but you know, in 2 months you might.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
So would you be willing to draft that letter, Jess?
I will be willing to draft that letter.
Right.
I remember my when they tiled that room and my grandmother fought for that room, and I would be honored to write that letter.
The floor was nice.
And I also heard somebody make a comment. Well, this used to be the senior lounge. Well, it still kind of is the senior lounge. It just looks more like a storage room.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So I think people are thinking that it's not really what it's meant to be anymore, and that's really too bad.
Yep.
We're reclaiming it.
Yep.
That's I would like to reclaim that for everybody.
Right. So just for clarity, bring that back to the next meeting and we'll look at
I
it
will. Yep.
and send it off from that. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Can
Okay.
I email that out before the meeting so everybody can look at it and then have their thoughts? Would that be helpful?
You can mail it out to us, but we shouldn't really discuss it. I mean, this is the open
Right,
meeting.
mail it out and then discuss it at the meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
So
absolutely.
you guys have a draft of it, so to not take up the time with reading it, and then
Yeah.
everybody can make their changes that they want to, and then finalize it afterwards for
Right.
time purposes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you. One other letter that's going to the select board is in regards to transportation, and Jeanette has agreed to write that letter, sort of summarizing what the select board needs to do in terms of moving the that whole process forward for the town. Next on the agenda, update Life Path. Life Path will be meeting with the select board on July 2nd to present the action plan that they've created and to discuss it. So,
I'm sorry, could you give me the date again?
July 2.
Geez, that would be a good meeting for some of us to
Yes,
present at.
if we
Do
could
we know what
attend,
time
yeah.
that is?
I don't, but I'll find out.
Okay.
I'll send the notice.
That would be a good idea for a reminder.
Yes. I wonder how I don't think we can get the link, but you can get onto it from the my town,
Yep.
right. Okay. All right. Oh. All right. It's 7 o'clock.
There is somebody scheduled to be on at 7, so I don't whether something illegal, but we might get bumped.
And I
Okay.
need to go to work.
All right. All right. So, make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved, Gray,
All right.
at
Bob,
7:01.
7:01. Barbara, I.
Gray, aye.
Big piece eye.
Millinger, aye.
Great. Thank you. Very productive. I apologize again about. Thank you, Susan. You saved our lives.
Well, I'm just glad I finally got an idea about what to do, and it seemed to have worked.
Take care.
Bye,
Everybody,
ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
have a good month.